I love that idea of thinking on the demand side rather than just the supply side. And I've been looking into the growing demand for what you might call Web3 professional talent. We're facing not just a transition in the great resignation and other effects that are happening because of the global pandemic, but there's also a revolution taking place in technology with the way that businesses build on what they're now calling Web3. And there are really three big areas that are changing. One are the rise of crypto. And just to give you a sense of the scale, just two cryptocurrencies, Ethereum and Bitcoin, now have a market capitalization of over $1 trillion and just seem to be growing. Another is the rise of NFTs, which are these non-fungible tokens. They've seen extraordinary growth over the last year, and all forecasts suggest that we'll see even greater growth as they move to the mass market and more brands start embracing NFTs to drive marketing campaigns and other sources of value. And then finally, we have the rise of Metaverse platforms. And we've seen the rebranding of Facebook and Facebook's announcement that it's going to spend billions of dollars in this space. And then just this past week, the announcement that Microsoft is going to buy this gaming company, Activation Blizzard, for over $70 billion to go head to head with Facebook. So huge amounts of money are flowing into what they now call Web3. Now, what's happening as a result is tremendous demand for professionals that understand how to drive businesses in this area. And let me give you a few examples. So going to the crypto space, we now have the rise of these exchanges, right, that allow you to trade in cryptocurrencies. One is Coinbase, which has become quite large. They're out in the market looking for an ecosystem platform operations leader, right? That's one example. PayPal is now launching a crypto offering, and it's now looking for a director of cryptography platform. So how do you secure these transactions? So the payment companies are deep into this. MasterCard and Coinbase just made an announcement, so the credit card companies are looking in this area as well. And then we have Crypto.com, which is based out of Asia, also a very, very large crypto exchange. It's looking for a head of partnerships and ecosystem development. So all of these companies have very much of a network ecosystem platform perspective and are looking for professionals to drive that part of their business. Then you have the NFT platforms, and there's a ton of them. There's more than 100 now that have arisen just in the last 2 to 3 years, with a surge just last year. The largest is OpenSea. It now, in 2021, did over $14 billion in transactions. That's up more than 600 times from the previous year. And so they're flush with money, and they've just done another round. And surprise, surprise, what are they looking for? They're actually looking for an M&A integrations leader. When you have money, go spend it on acquisitions. And so, you could probably find somebody who knows acquisitions and M&A really well. The question, though, is do they understand M&A in a Web3 world? So there's a challenge for these companies that, you can find M&A or experienced professionals, but it's harder to find those professionals that have deep understanding of how Web3 operates. And then finally, we have the Metaverse, which is getting huge amounts of attention. And as you can imagine, Facebook is searching for a lot of talent. They have hundreds of job postings out to fill all sorts of roles. So they're looking, for example, a high-level role right now is a vice president for product marketing for the Metaverse. And reading the job description is actually quite interesting. Then you have these more niche but growing Metaverse environments where you can actually purchase land. And so there's one called Sandbox. It is looking for a global CRM manager. So there's a lot of data that's collected through this process and business relationships. They're hosting. So for example, Samsung is building a store in the Metaverse in Sandbox. And so there's lots of brands now that are looking to enter this space, and you need professionals that can manage these relationships. So huge, interesting space.